as we sit tight and get set to go racing this time. We just witnessed, of course, a very, very special race in race 1. Now, once again, we're hearing the revving of engines this time around as the lights now go red. 3 lights, 4 lights, and the 5th light here at Spa. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 and getting away straight away off the line, Sebastian Job, who did a very super job holding the pace on the front end as the 2 red lines come together. Rietveld and Siggy now battling away. Johan Harth in behind too, very quickly being joined by Mitchell de Jong in behind as well, as they now have to sort themselves out. They make their way up towards the crest. Johan Harth with the upper hand this time around on Mitchell de Jong, who's having to drop down a place as then they make their way over the crest through towards the Kemmel Straight. Up at the front, it is still Sebastian Job. He leads the way, but the 2 red line cars now under severe threat as now they enter Johan Harth, who looks to go around the outside. Can he take P3 immediately in the opening lap? They go wheel to wheel. The Merc strikes. He takes P3 here in lap 1. Takes P3 away from the red line team. Of course, now that relegates Jeffrey Rietveld down to 4th place.
Does, but the top 4 remain the same as to who they actually are at this stage. Further back, it's all on here between these 3 at the back. Mac and Octavius Good and Kaiki Oliver were 3 wide out of Malmedy on that particular occasion. They've sorted it out a little bit now, but fighting over 11th place is no way to get into the top 6. Oscar has made up a place at least, and he's got up into 11th for the moment, with Kaiki Oliveira now bringing up the rear here in the field. Thankfully, it's a cleaner start from what we got in semi-final number 1.
Yeah, it is a cleaner start, no drivers coming unstuck, should I say, heading through the early stages, certainly no crashes. We have certainly had a great battle, though, as the RAG team of Thibaut Casibon and Yuri Toman looking to lift themselves. They're currently sitting in the elimination zone. Remember, top 6 go through to our final race of the evening and will contest to be final winners when we make our way through the latter stages of tonight's competition. As we now see them make their way through towards Blanchimont, right on the tail here of Jamie Fluke is Thibaut Casibon, really risen to the occasion since he stepped up for RAG. Of course, remember, Risto Capit once represented the team. It's now the turn of Thibaut Casibon to represent them this time around, the multicoloured Predator. That, of course, you can see him blazoned on the left. It certainly is a Predator. This car, indeed, the Audi R8 LMS that has proven to be a stern contender in the world of GT3 racing, now looking to usher in a brand new era, this time in ESL R1. Of course, RAG know exactly what it takes to lay claim to winning races, and they're going to look to try and bring themselves to the forefront this time around in terms of qualifying for the final later on tonight. First of all, though, the ART Mercedes of Jamie Fluke. Mitchell de Jong just in front of him. They're going to climb up through Eau Rouge and Radiant, nose to tail. Nothing separates them. The straight could be fruitful here for Thibaut Casibon. Can he unlock the door?
Well, we'll see if Jeffrey Rietveld could do the same as well, because Johan Hart is going to be under pressure there as well. Through the middle of the road goes Jamie Fluke, and now to the outside goes Thibaut Casibon. He's going to be squeezed as much as possible by Jamie Fluke. He'll go round the outside anyway, though, will Casibon. Let's see if he can do this. Not quite on this occasion. He'll have the outside for Malmedy. That's not going to happen. Meanwhile, up front, Rietveld did indeed get past Johan Hart for 3rd place.
Yeah, fantastic fight back from Jeffrey Rietveld. Remember, losing the place in the opening lap, has just managed to grab it back to make it a P2 and P3 situation for Team Redline. But I bet you bottom dollar that Johan Harth is going to look to try and take it back. Certainly, great display of tenacity from the likes of Thibaut Casibon, race winner back at Hockenheim in the quarter-final knockout action not too long ago. Of course, that being round 3. We've come away to 3 rounds since then, and he's going to look for yet another podium celebration. But first of all, needs to get himself into the top 6. That is the priority. Remember, folks, the longer you remain in the competition, the more points you will score, and Casibon knows all about that. Yuri Toman in behind too, just watching it all unfold with Yuri Kazdorp, the sole mouse in this lineup of cars. Mac Backham just behind him too. As I said, returning from injury, he has had his challenges and certainly walls that he has had to jump. But nevertheless, we all know how good he truly is. Tom Usgaard as well, watching it all unfold with Kaiki Oliveira having an uncomfortable opening run as he makes his way around in 12th place. As we now watch Johan Harth make his way around Blanchimont, keeping it tight as he looks to try and open the door this time on Jeffrey Rietveld, who has incidentally lost quite a lot of time to his teammate in Cabodre, Kevin Siggy. 1.5 seconds now, the gap now. And I'd imagine that this is Rietveld doing the job here. Is he just alleviating Kevin Siggy some pressure at this stage so he can just focus on Sebastian Job?
Well, it could be a bit of team play here from Team Redline, or it could just be that the realism of the pace of where they are right now. That was a lot of diving, oh my word. Oh, and around goes
Oh.
Mitchell de Jong, was that maybe? It was. Mitchell de Jong in one of the Porsche Coanders has gone around at turn 1. It was carnage on the way towards turn 1. We had a calm opening couple of laps, but it's all gone away on lap 3 as Mitchell de Jong goes to the back of the pack.
He certainly does, and RAG get both cars into the top 6 as a response, but now straight away, Jamie Fluke is on the attack, as is Yuri Kasdorp, who now smells an opportunity. RAG put up the wall as they look to charge up through towards Laycom. Team building at its finest as they now challenge on the outside. Jamie Fluke going in deep as he goes wheel to wheel, this time with Thibaut Casabon, who fights back straight away, heading through the next right-hander, but now down into Rivage. RAG hold on, through now goes Yuri Kasdorp as he looks to dive in the sister Audi R8. And none of the RAGs, Kike Oliveira in the mix of all this. Carnage here in lap 3.
Oh, can you believe it? Lap 3 is where it's all kicked off here, and it's not going to go away either. Thibaut Casabon's now 6th, but Yuri Kasdorp right behind is not going to let him have that one for sure. Jeffrey Rietveld and Jan Harp has been afforded a bit of a gap as a result of Yuri Toman might just be good enough now to get into the final as well. But what on earth went on down here? It was all on between Jamie Fluke and Thibaut Casabon, I think it was, in towards turn 1, and it's the Porsche Coanders who come out with the tail between their legs, and unfortunately they're now 11th and 12th.
RAG might be in trouble there. I know that race director Adrian Fidalgo is going to be watching on, and this might be certainly looking like it could be a bad day at the office for RAG. We'll have to wait and see, but it definitely looked like there was some contact heading through towards La Source. Now, will that take one of the cars from RAG out of the equation for the top 6? We'll have to wait and see. Matt Backham and Mitchell de Jong ended up colliding together on the outset of that incident, heading through turn 1, and unfortunately now see themselves propping up the rest of the grid order. It's gone certainly from what would have been a blissful scenario to being the worst of nightmares for Matt Backham and Mitchell de Jong. And now at this stage is Jeffrey Rietveld now looks to squabble. He's now making his way. Is he in the pits? Jeffrey Rietveld dropping through the field, and he's now down to 11th place.
Oh, he's having a drive-through penalty. Jeffrey Rietveld has got a drive-through penalty and will drop to the very back of this field. So all of a sudden, the tune changes again. Yuri Towan's up to 4th. Thibaut Casabon's now feeling a bit safer in 5th, and Yuri Kasdorp might be making his way into the final once again here at Spa. What a race we're seeing so far, and we're only just about halfway through it at the moment. Will Kasdorp decide to stay behind now, or is he going to go for it anyway? He will do, despite the fact there's not a place in the final on the line between these two anymore. Yuri Kasdorp still wants 5th position, and he will go around the outside through the second part to give him the inside at Malmedy, and Kasdorp will be through. No! Thibaut Casabon goes round the outside through Malmedy, and they're still locked together.
Yeah, Kasdorp certainly showing his ruthless streak now as they remain side by side, heading through now towards the Jackie Expend Tiger line here for Casabon, who looks to fight back here against Kasdorp. They remain wheel to wheel on the outset. Audi v Audi as they look to club down through towards the Pouhon section, wheel to wheel as they make their way through towards the next lift. Just nipping off though, Kasdorp not giving an inch, he's not giving up. And Thibaut Casabon enter Kike Oliveira. Fury now looking to join the party as they take a look down the inside. They've been wheel to wheel through 2 sectors as a whole. They make it 3 as they make their way in towards the latter stages of this lap. Kasdorp and Casabon, a tug of war between 2 Audi R8s.
Unbelievable racing. Thibaut Casabon makes it through in the end, going round the outside of Stavolo. I don't know how Yuri Kasdorp didn't get that move done eventually. He went around the outside for Pouhon, for goodness sake, and still didn't make it work. Absolutely fantastic racing for 5th position. Kike Oliveira, Jamie Fluke, Tommy Uscott, and Mac Backham are all here now as well. There's going to be some dives here into the bus stop chicane as Jamie Fluke goes for it. It's not going to happen, and he's stepped out of line, and so Tommy Uscott's going to try and go through. That's not going to happen either. What a race we are seeing, and there's still 3 laps to go.
You might have remembered Kike Oliveira. He was at the back of the field earlier on. He's managed to grind and, well, certainly claw his way higher up this order. He's now P7 and on the cusp of getting through to the top 6. And we all know what that means, folks. If he gets through into the top 6, there's a great chance he'll appear in the final race tonight to club together to perhaps even win here tonight at Spa-Francorchamps as they now make the climb through towards the Kemmel Straight, heading up through towards Laycom. It is still leading this train. Thibaut Casibon with Yuri Karsdorp, who has not left his rear wing whatsoever. That rear spoiler has seen a full-on mouse red livery right behind it here, closely followed as well by Jamie Fluke and Kaiki Oliveira, who are currently in tandem, making their way through the next section, now down in towards Ravage, also known as the Brushell's Corner, but nose to tail, the gap thinner, Lanafly's eyelash. Incredible battle here to gain entry into tonight's final race.
Well, everybody just calm down for a moment, because it seems that we'll just be a little bit calmer on lap 5 before things kick off for the final 2 laps. What a race we are seeing so far. The top 4 should be through, and they may not even fight between themselves. Siggy's giving Sebastian German something to think about for the moment, but not really a battle going on there. It's for 5th place where we are focusing ourselves for the moment, because Thibaut Casibon and Yuri Karsdorp have put on one of the shows of the season here at Spa. A wonderful battle between the two. Kaiki Oliveira couldn't quite get involved to get into the top 6, but it's not over. Still 2 laps to go, and there's still time for those outside of the current top 6 to make it in.
He hasn't featured in a semi-final since all the way back at Hockenheimring in round 3, and Thibaut Casibon knows what this could mean for his own personal journey. Remember back, all the way back at Hockenheim, victory in that quarter-final, but it wasn't to be in the semi-final. He did not make it to the final, and he himself chasing his own goals to elevate his own position here in ESL R1. We'll have to wait and see whether he can bring it home, because he has got a flood of cars right in behind looking for a piece of the action, including Yuri Karsdorp, who will be going through at this point as well. But Kaiki Oliveira is going to give it his, well, certainly give it everything to see whether he can usher his Furia BMW into the mix for a final appearance later on tonight as they make their way now out of the source section. We're now here riding on board here with Kaiki Oliveira, as now he's eyes and spies Sergio Rouge and Radion in the distance. He's going to try and tune it up, hit every apex, try and gain time, follow in the footsteps of Yuri Karsdorp just ahead. There's a chance here that Furia could book their ticket, stamp their place into the final race later on. Jamie Fluke, also in the midst of all this, knows exactly what it takes to garner a race win in ESL R1 action, as now once again they crawl through La Source still, but it's still Thibaut Casibon who leads this train through. Forget all the others up at the front end. This is the battle we want to see.
It is, and so far it's single file through Lecom once again, so nothing doing on this lap. It's the penultimate lap now, of course, and time is running out. Thibaut Casibon just went a little bit wide there through Rivard, and Yuri Karsdorp closed in quite dramatically. Now, there was no move made, and I wonder whether Karsdorp is just going to back off now and consolidate this 6th position to the end, but even so, there was a slight door opening there from Thibaut Casibon. He's put a bit of a gap back in once again, and he's got nearly half a second over Karsdorp now, but that was a brief half chance for the Mouse driver to get through. Nothing doing though, and they'll stay single file around the second part of the second sector and head towards that last lap of this semi-final.
Yeah, just headed out now, the Lafania chicane. They've got Campus and Stavolo as well coming up next. Still is Casibon taking them through this next train. And now coming out to Stavolo now. And then very shortly we'll round Corbeil-Port Frere. They are slowly starting to inch closer. We saw Yuri Toman in the distance. You can just see him making his way through Blanchimont. He's right on the tail of Johan Hath, as well as we now see Yuri Karsdorp right on the bubble of being eliminated or moving through towards a final appearance. Of course, the sole Mouse driver in this affair, and now looking to drag it right into final contention. Could he do it? There could be a huge chance here for Karsdorp to impress, who in his own right, we spoke about his own battles, of course, with maximising his performance here in ESL R1 competition. We know how much of a snake pit it truly is when it comes down to drivers battling each other out on track, and getting those final appearances are so sought after. Those points are also so sought after, and Karsdorp now right on the cusp of getting through to a final here tonight. Of course, hasn't managed to necessarily gain that sort of acclaim in a long, long time. In fact, this could be his first final appearance this season. I think it actually is as well, as he now makes his way up the hill, still defending against Kaiki Oliveira and trying to close down on Thibaut Casibon. Look at Oliveira though, having a look around the outside. Karsdorp goes defensive in towards Lecom, once again defending as they go nose to tail. How did they not make contact? Oliveira with the momentum, the straight line speed that could have taken that P6 away, but he'll have another go, heading down towards Rivage. Will he open the door? Will he send it? The Furia car says no. He's going to be patient. he'll have maybe 1 or 2 chances remaining here on the final lap.
Well, I think there was contact, to be honest with you, on the way towards Lecombe there, but it was ever so slight. Kastrup felt the need to slightly defend, to move it over to the right there and then pull back to the racing line. Oliveira got into the back of him and in the end couldn't get through. I think his run through the middle sector here hasn't been good enough, and so Kastrup and Casabon may well survive. But what a race we've seen here. Oliveira, Fluke, Oscar and Backham are going to be the ones to miss out here. I think the gap at about 3 tenths between 6th and 7th now. Yuri Kastrup should be on his way to a final, and this would be a big step forward for him in the championship as he tries to get into that top 24 for the major at the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. But closing out this final lap, of course, we have seen magic today here at Spa, and certainly tonight we'll witness yet more magic to come as we now see them make their way through the final sector for the last time. This battle has been brewing to get qualification in towards the final race tonight. Sebastian Job, though, is going to be the man to bring it home. He, of course, up at the front end, nailing down the fastest lap. It's Sebastian Job. He's going to take victory here tonight at Spa-Francorchamps in semi-final 2. Kevin Siggy comes home in 2nd. Johan Half in 3rd place, Yuri Toman in 4th, Timo Kazimon, what a defensive effort, he comes home in 5th, but no one could stop the great Sebastian Job, championship leader, representing G2 Esports. Yet another victory going to this young man. He is a sensation and showing it again here in ESL competition. Can he go ahead and do it again